Alright, so today I'm here to just talk about a few movies that I've gotten over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So you see I made my last Blu-ray update video about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Blu-ray and DVD update, and I even had some VHSs to throw in there. So I'd say every month or so you should expect at least one of these videos. Probably not going to do these every 2 weeks, but I've been buying more DVDs lately. So the numbers kind of risen quicker than it usually would. You know, usually Blu-rays are a little more expensive, but you know, going around to thrift shops and stuff and finding DVDs, it's a little bit cheaper. So I've managed to find some for some pretty good prices, and managed to dabble in movies that I had never seen, and that's the whole beauty of this collecting thing. You find movies that you haven't found on streaming services that you've heard about, or that you've wanted to see for a long time, and then you buy them for $1, and if they're good, you keep them on DVD, and you upgrade it, and if it's bad, you have it on DVD, and you just get rid of it eventually, so it's not really the end of the world. So we'll go through some of these movies, or all of them, rather, and we'll talk a little bit about each one. I've seen all of them now. I had to spend a few days watching the ones I hadn't seen, just to catch up, and here we go. So, Out of Time with Denzel Washington. I bought a couple Denzel movies. You're probably laughing at people watching this, and even I'm laughing on the inside, because it's just cheesy 2000s action, and I knew when I was buying this, like, this is going to be the most hilarious, fun, like, just high alcohol-induced movie ever, and it was. It was exactly what I expected. Plot was actually not that bad, but you know, it's a Denzel movie with a lot of my mans and a lot of him hooking up with hot women. Eva Mendes is smoking in this movie, and that's pretty much where all that ends. There's not much to talk about. The cast is pretty barren. It's pretty much just Denzel, and yeah, I would recommend watching this though if you're into action movies and stuff. A couple more Denzel movies: Training Day and Fallen. So I got this for Training Day, which I had never seen before. I know. But I felt like, you know what, I probably gotta see Training Day at some point, and I really enjoyed it. So I watched Fallen, and it was alright. You know, I could have lived my entire life without seeing Fallen, because I've seen it 50 times in other movies. Same plot, where, you know, people don't believe the main character. They know something about something, and nobody believes them, and then they confront it at the end, and then die, and evil lives on. Spoilers. And a cat, which was very bizarre, but that concept is very cool, where it touches people, the demon, and then you know, they spread along like a virus. It's very interesting. And Training Day has been talked about to death. Everybody knows how good Training Day is, and it just took so many turns I wasn't expecting. You know, I knew it was going to be kind of a corrupt movie, but I did not expect Denzel's character to be such an asswipe in the entire movie. But I mean, you get what you get in a movie like this. And Ethan Hawke, I had this weird thing where I just didn't like him for some reason, but now every movie I watch him and I'm like, hey, I like him. You know, Lord of War, Dead Poet Society, and now this are 3 movies I can really think of off the top of my head, and I like him in all 3. So I recommend Training Day to anybody who has had the same mindset like me, who is like, yeah, I'm not watching it. Check it out. All 4 vacation movies. Now, if you've seen the Blu-ray video of mine, you've seen that I owned Christmas Vacation, but it doesn't hurt to own the other 3. And this was like $1, so it was like, yeah. I owned this some other time in my life. One of the dogs that I owned when I was younger, who passed away, destroyed a large portion of my original DVD collection when we left him home one time, and he just destroyed everything. So this was one of the DVDs that I had that I watched a lot that got destroyed. So I felt, you know what, I'm going to get this because I don't need these on Blu-ray. I really don't. And, you know, Blu-ray I'm going to start designating for movies I really like. Because I have some movies over there that I just didn't even show in my Blu-ray collection video that are just, they're not good. I have some right here. Stuff like this. Jeff Who Lives at Home, Chips, like things that I never bought that I was gifted on Christmas and stuff when I was a teenager. I need to get rid of them, is what I'm saying, because like I'm never watching, and I don't even want to talk about that in a collection video. So I've spent the last couple years buying the Blu-rays that I really enjoy, and I'm still getting there, but I don't need more movies like Vegas Vacation on Blu-ray, because I'm probably never going to sit there on a Friday night or something. I'm going to watch Vegas Vacation. Maybe, but it's there on DVD, which is fine. And you've got European Vacation, and the original Vacation might be the only one I'd ever even think about buying on Blu-ray besides Christmas Vacation. A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. Everybody knows that line, but I didn't know anything else about this movie, really, because, again, I'd never seen it, and every time I go to this movie store that I regularly go to, it's there for about $13 on Blu-ray, and it's like, I know to most people it's like, that's not that much money, but when you're kind of a broke individual in your young 20s like myself, is it really worth spending $13 on a movie that I can get for like $1.50 on DVD? No. It's not, because it's here. This DVD case looked pretty damn good, and the quality looked fine, and I mean it. Like I'm a pretty finicky person when it comes to quality, but the older I get, the more I don't really care about how DVDs look. I don't have an 85-inch TV. I've got like a 35-inch. So watching movies, it's not the end of the world seeing a bit of grain. I don't know. DVDs look pretty good to me. Sometimes. There's some that just look awful, but this one in particular is really good. And Tom Cruise, really good performance. Jack Nicholson's barely in the movie. This movie wouldn't be made today, the dialogue that they use. Rob Reiner had a very good way of using words back then, Stand By Me. A lot of swearing in that one, too. But Demi Moore is one of the hottest women that ever lived. I think this is right around the time that she married Bruce Willis. But good movie. I think if you like courtroom case movies with drama, you'll enjoy it. And that's all I gotta say about that movie. Vanilla Sky is another movie that I'm not gonna upgrade. There's not a need to own Vanilla Sky on Blu-ray, but I like it enough to keep it on DVD. It's got some interesting concepts to it. Again, like it's like what was I talking about earlier? Out of Time. Like the concept's cool, but the execution in this, it's confusing as shit. Even when the movie was done and there's like a 5-minute explanation of the audience of what just happened, I still had to look shit up and like, what did I just watch? How much of this was a dream? So it's basically every scene beyond the car crash, spoilers, that's a dream until the end where he wakes up and you see his eye open for like 3 seconds and the movie ends. So it's all a dream, and I kind of figured because he wakes up on the sidewalk and what's her name, Penelope Cruz is there and happens to pick him up off the ground and like start making out right away. It looks fake, but still, there was just something about movies that are in a dream bug me, because it's just such a cop-out when you're in the end of the movie and you're waiting for like an explanation. It's like, oh, it's just a dream. It hurts because you're waiting for an actual explanation of the story. But this is as good as Cameron Diaz ever got at acting. I usually hate her, but in this she's pretty good. And Tom Cruise, like again, he's always pretty good. And I don't think that's like a necessary viewing. Like if you're a Tom Cruise fan, you're obviously probably going to check that out. But if you're just an average film viewer, you're not going to run out of your way to watch that. So we got a few HD DVDs here, and I've never owned HD DVDs, but I saw a couple, and I was like, you know what? Why not? And 2 of them you can watch on actual Blu-ray players because they're combo format, so there's an actual DVD side of the disc. So here we've got Alpha Dog, which is slowly became one of my favorite movies. If I did a top 50 list now, like I just watched it for the first time a week ago, and I've seen it a couple times already. This movie is just so impactful. It hit me in every hard part of my body. I was almost in tears at the end. I will spoil it. The kid fucking gets shot and killed, and you're not expecting it whatsoever. I thought for sure it was going to be this lead up where they're going to let him go. No. They fucking massacre this kid. They smash him in the head with a shovel and shoot him a bunch, and it's brutal. And the acting in this movie is great. Emile Hirsch is great. I always loved him and everything, pretty much. I like Timberlake in this, which I was not expecting. I thought he was going to be a joke. He was good. And Anton Yelchin as the kid is just awesome. But it's heartbreaking what happened to him in real life and in this movie. So now watching anything with him is just rough. And Bruce Willis is pretty good, and Sharon Stone. Like, this has got a loaded... And I forgot Ben Foster. I almost mentioned everybody except for him. his outrage scene in the office where he's freaking, I need this job. It's great stuff. Everything with Ben Foster, where he's a coked out or cracked out meth head. He's always the best part, like Hell or High Water and this. And there's something else I'm missing where he's just like a fucked up cokehead, and he's the best part of it. So this one I unfortunately can't watch on Blu-ray players, but I'm eventually going to buy an HD DVD player. I intend on buying more of these eventually, and maybe having a collection of like 20 to 30 of these. I don't need it, but I just like the variety, you know, having a slide-in hot rod. And this is, again, it was in my honorable mentions for my top favorite movies of all time, so you know this is a movie I like. I'd like to own it on Blu-ray, DVD, and HD DVD. I just love this case, and when I saw this case for it, I was like, I just need this. The red, in comparison to the blue, I just like it. You know, I don't know which one I prefer. I think Blu-ray looks good in its own way, but I don't know, this red is just so different. And with one like Hot Rod, where it's got a red logo, you know, I like it. Everybody knows what I think about Hot Rod, though. It's a great movie. And nobody judge me for this, okay? I can't explain myself. You're watching this and you want to just turn this video off right now. I'm usually not into, you know, LGBTQ anything, to be honest with you, but I quite enjoyed the performances in this movie, particularly Heath Ledger. More just to see how characters in that time frame, or people in that time frame would have dealt with something like this, but they both have these lives where they're married to women, and we're almost certain, we don't know, we don't really get told for a fact, but Jake Gyllenhaal's character gets murdered for being gay, and they kill him in like a horrible way. So it's all these things you don't really think about because we live in a society where that doesn't happen. So it's very interesting to see those things, and it's interesting to see these two characters that you wouldn't take as being gay. You just wouldn't. Like, especially Heath Ledger. He's such a manly man, the whole movie. Anus, he's a manly man. And he's somehow gay. You're not expecting that. And Jake Gyllenhaal, I guess, is a little more feminine in the movie, but Anne Hathaway is really good in this movie. Michelle Williams is really good in this movie. I just really like it front to back. You know, I'm not a big fan of the whole, you know, gay sex stuff, but it is what it is. It's not my movie. But I just like Heath Ledger, to be honest with you. He's a good actor. It's a damn shame what happened to him. And I guess that's all three of my HD DVDs. So we're on to the last two DVDs here. We've got Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. I bounced them back and forth. I was looking for these on Blu-ray, but they're so expensive. Everywhere that I look, they're like $20 each, and I'm not spending that much. Jewel of the Nile is the more expensive of the two, and I don't like Jewel of the Nile that much, for being honest with you. Oh, the whole time I was the Jewel of the Nile. It's like, great. I just don't care. And Romancing the Stone, I tried to get my girlfriend to watch it, and she had no interest. So I guess it's just going to be like a me movie forever, where it's like if I'm feeling like I want to escape to this Jack Colton world, I'm going to have to do it by myself, unfortunately. And I do like the first movie. I do like Michael Douglas, and Kathleen Turner was smoking back then, back before she looked like a Jabba the Hutt carbon copy. I guess I'm happy I own these in some format, because they are 80s classics, but I don't need them on Blu-ray. 10 Things I Hate About You. Again, if you have a girlfriend, they're gonna love this one. My girlfriend loves this one, and yeah, I like this movie a lot. Again, I mentioned I like Heath Ledger, another Heath Ledger movie. I've rewatched this a fuck ton. I watched it for the first time probably only a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I've seen it maybe 5 times since then. It's on Disney Plus, and I just watch it on repeat all the time when I'm playing video games or something. I put it on the background. It's a fun movie. Back in the time, it just makes me feel like a kid again. Even though I didn't see this as a kid, it's set in that time frame of when I was a kid, sort of. So I don't know. I love it. It's a good romance movie based on Shakespeare, set in the modern day. Julia Stiles is pretty hot. The Perfect Storm. So we'll talk about this first because I prefer the movie that comes after this, which is the last movie. So I have 2 Blu-rays to talk about, which is a lot less, I know. But like I said, a lot more DVDs and Blu-rays in recent weeks. I like this movie. Like, it's like a good popcorn movie. Like, if you just want to hang out with some friends and put on a movie and just have some mindless action go on in the background, this is really good. The last hour was pretty gripping, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know these guys weren't gonna survive, so I was waiting there like, oh, fuck, how are they gonna make it out of this? And then you realize eventually, well, they're not. And you know, George Clooney's obviously gonna go down with the ship because he's the captain. But you know, Mark Wahlberg literally gets stranded out there by himself with nothing, with like 100-foot waves going over him, and it's just terrifying. And it's a thought you never want to have. Where that'd be just the worst way to go out possible. It really would be. But I do like that cover. You know, it really tells you what the movie's about. It's a shame that they don't say more of the actors that are in this movie, though. There's some that deserve to be mentioned. What's his, John C. Reilly, I don't know how you're not mentioning that he's in this. And Karen Allen and Bob Gunton have the most random, like, they're just there as side characters, like, we're on this other ship, and they don't really do anything in the entire movie. Stargate. Now, this is the 1993 or 4? Is it 93 or 4? I always forget. 94. This is Kurt Russell and James Spader. You know what? I like this movie, but I'd seen it after Avatar. So all I thought of was, holy shit, man, James Cameron ripped this off in a big way. Like, it's transported to another planet, falls in love with a creature. I guess it's like a different person, different kind of somebody you don't speak their language and you don't know their culture. And it's a different time period, and you get taken in by their tribe and you become their leader. It's basically, Avatar ripped this off, and every time I watch this now, I'm just like, damn, dude, they ripped this off. But I do love some Stargate. This is a good movie, and it's out of print on Blu-ray big time. Like, I was at the movie store, and this was like $50. I was like, holy shit, and I got this for a couple bucks. So if you're a Stargate fan, which there's not very many out there, good luck finding that. So I guess that is the stack of DVDs mostly, and few Blu-rays and HD DVDs that I've gotten over the last couple weeks, and I just felt like I wanted to talk about those. So hope you guys have a good day, and hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys in the next video.